Good morning, students. So yesterday we have completed the topic rational numbers. I think you might have understood uh, what is the meaning of rational number, how to represent those rational numbers on number line, and how to calculate the numbers between rational numbers. Rational numbers between rational numbers. Okay, now let us today we are going to study a new topic, that is squares and square roots. Squares and square roots. Square roots. Squares and square roots. Now, let us look here. 4, 1, 9, 16, 25, 36, 81, 64, 49, 100, and so on. By looking at these numbers, can you imagine what type of number they are? What type of number they are? For example, so 1, if you multiply 1 into 1, you will get 1 only. For example, now 4. So 2 into 2, if you multiply, you will get 4. 9, 3 into 3, if you multiply, you will get 9. 16, 4 into 4, if you multiply, you will get 16. 25, 5 into 5, if you multiply, you will get 25. In a way, 6 into 6, if you multiply, you will get 36. 81, 9 into 9, if you multiply, you will get 81. 8 into 8, if you multiply, you will get 64. 7 into 7, if you multiply, you will get 49. 10 into 10, if you multiply, you will get 100. Like that, there are many numbers. If you multiply the same number, if a number is multiplied with the same number, the result will be a square. The result will be a square number. If a number is x, if x is multiplied by x, then what we get? We get x square, x to the power 2. So x to the power 2 is called square of the given number, square of x. So now 1 is square of 1. 4 is square of 2. 9 is square of 3. So now here you can write 3 into 3 is equal to 9. So you can say 9 is square of 3. 9 is square of 3. 9 is square of 3. 3 square is 9. In the same way, 16 is square of 4. 25 is square of 5. Square means if any number is multiplied by 2 times. If you multiply the same number by 2 times, the result will be a square number. Now, so these are all, there are many. See, you can say, so what is the square of 12? So what you have to do? You have to multiply 12 into 12. So you will get 144. So 12 is the square of 144. Like that. If you say 15 into 15, if you multiply it, you will get 225. 225 is square of 15. Square means 2 times. 2, not 2. 2 times. 2 times. If any number is multiplied twice. If any number is multiplied twice, then the result will be a square number. The result will be a square number. Now you understood the square numbers. What do we mean by square numbers? And these are called, all these are called perfect squares. All these are called what? Perfect squares. All these are called perfect squares. Now let us study some of the properties of squares. Let us study some of the properties of perfect squares. So before that, let us understand the definition of square. Definition of square. Definition of square. If a number is multiplied, if a number is multiplied twice, if a number is multiplied twice, then the result will be a square number. Square of that number. Example: 25, 36, 89, 100, 121, so and so. So all these are squares. All these are squares. Now next one is perfect squares. Perfect squares. So what are perfect squares? 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, so and so and so. All these are, all such numbers are known as perfect squares. Perfect squares. Such numbers are called perfect squares. Now let us study about the properties of square numbers. Some properties of square number. Properties of square number. Properties of square number. So what is the first property now? Let us study one by one the properties of number. Properties of square number. Okay, now. So now look here. Look here now. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144, 169, like that. So you can write as many as number, okay? 225, like that. You can write as many as numbers. So by looking at these numbers, just look at the unit numbers. Unit numbers. Unit means last numbers. Last number. Just look at the last numbers. So by looking at these, you might be thinking that there are some numbers you are missing. What is that number? That is 2. 2 is missing from the unit place, isn't it? Now next number is 3. You are missing. The last digit will not be 3. Okay. Now next one is 7. You cannot see 7 in the end. Can you see? Can you see 7? And the last one will be 8. Can anybody see the unit place as 2, 3, 7 and 8? No. We never see. You can check it from as many as square numbers. You will not see in the unit place of the square number, that is 2, 3, 7 and 8. And it is the first property. All square numbers with the unit place, having unit place, if 2, 3 and 7, 8 are in the end place, in the unit place, then they cannot be what? They cannot be perfect squares. If other than 2, 3 and 7, 8, what are those numbers? 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. So 1, 4, 5, 6 and 0. Even 0 is also. If 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9, if 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9 and 0 are the last numbers, then such numbers can be perfect squares. So this is first property. So now what is the first property? You can write, if a number ends, you can write. So the first property, you can write, if a number ends in 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9 if the number ends, that is 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9, then it must be a square number. Or you can write, or if a number ends in 2, 3, 7 and 8 then it must not be a square number. It must not. It cannot be. You can say it cannot be. You can write it can't. It can't be a square number. If the ending numbers are 2, 3, 7 and 8, then it cannot be a square number. To be square, the end numbers, or you can say the unit number should be 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. Then only you can say, oh, they may be perfect squares. Not guarantee, not guarantee. Okay, there is a chance that they can be perfect square. But if the ending numbers 2, 3, 7 and 8, then you can guarantee say that they cannot be perfect squares. They cannot be perfect squares. Okay, now this is the first property. Now let us move to the second property. Let us move to the second property. So what is the second property? Okay, now if, for example, the square of 1 is what? 1 square is what? 1. 11 square is what? 121. Okay, now 1 square is what? 1. And for example, 9 square is what? 81. 19 square is what? 19 square is what? I think it is 361. 361. Like that. See, if the number has 1 and 9 in the unit place, so 1 and 9 in the unit place, then its squares end at 1 only. The square of any number whose end numbers are 1, square of any number whose end numbers are 1 and 9, end numbers are 1 and 9. For example, if you can write 21 also, 21 square. So 21 square is 441. So here also 1. This is 29. If 29 square is how much? 29 into 29 is how much? 9 9 is 81. 8 8 2 is 16. 16 8 24. Plus 2 2 9 is 18. 1 2 2 5. 1 12 8. 8 21. You can see the end number is 1 only. The square of any number whose end numbers are 1 and 9, and their perfect square will be always having the end numbers as 1 only. 1 only. This is also one of the property that you have to write. What is the second property? If a number has 1 and 9 in the unit place, then its squares ends in 1 only. Square ends in 1 only. You could see here. Even if you can write 31 square is equal to, you can write 39 square is equal to, the end number is always 1 only. This is the property, that is second important property of the perfect squares. I think you understood. By looking at the number, you can imagine what might be its square and what will be the last number of that square number. Now we'll move to the third important property, that is now the third property. For example, what is 4 square? 16. What is 6 square? 36. What is 14 square? 14 square is how much? 196. What is 16 square? 256. Like that, 24 square, 36 square, 34 square. This is 46 square. See, if you go on doing it, the end number will be 6 only. End number will be 6 only. Means if the square of any number, whose end numbers are 4 and 6, if the end numbers are 4 and 6, and the squares will be always having the last digit as 6 only. You could see here, all the numbers or end numbers are having 6 only. So this is also one of the important property that you have to write. When a square ends, when a square number ends in 6, this is square numbers. These are square numbers. Ends in 6. The number whose square it will be. When a square number ends in 6, means the numbers must be the numbers whose end numbers will be 4 or 6 only. Okay, if a square number is having the last number as 6, it means what? It means the square of numbers whose end numbers are 4 or 6. Then only the square of that number, will be ending with 6 only. This is also one of the property. Okay, now we'll move to the last property, that is fourth property. Now, fourth property. What is that fourth property? Okay, now for example, 10 square is how much? 100. 10 square is 100. 20 square is how much? 400. Now 1000 square is how much? 100 square. 100 square is how much? 10,000. Now 200 square is how much? 40,000. Now 1000 square is how much? 2000 square is how much? So by looking at these numbers, you could see here square of any number. If a square of number having the last digit as 0, then the squares are always having even number of zeros. Even 2 here, here 4, here 6, you could see here. Means number of zeros are always even in number. Square of any number having zeros, square of, if it is a square and it is having zeros, it means the number of zeros is always even. Number of zeros is always 0. Even. If the number of zeros are odd, if the number of zeros are odd, it means that it is not a square. It is not a perfect square. It cannot be a perfect square. To be a perfect square, the number of zeros must be in even number. In even number. So the last property is what? In any square number, in any square number, number of zeros must be even, or you can say, if number of zeros in a number are odd, then it cannot be a perfect square. Perfect square. And to be perfect square, the number of zeros in any squares will be always in even number. They may be 2, they may be 4, they may be 6, they may be 10, they may be 12, they may be 14, 16, like that. If the number of zeros are in odd number, it may be 1, it may be 3, 5, 7, like that, then you can say that cannot be a perfect square. So these are the 4 important properties you need to remember while doing the example. Okay. Now these are the 4 important properties one must remember. Now let us move to the exercise, that is exercise 5.1. Exercise 5.1. Now, what will be the unit digit of the square of the following numbers? What will be the unit digit of the square of the following numbers? What will be the unit digit of square of number? So now 81. 81 is there. Square of this number and the unit place. You have to write unit place. So what is, if 81 is squared, 81 is multiplied by 81, then what will be the answer? And that answer, they don't want the answer, but they want the unit place of that number. If the last number is 1, so what will be if it is squared? So answer will be 1 only. 1 and 9. If you multiply it, the end number will be 1 only. Now next number is 272. If you square it, the end number is what? End number will be 4. 2. 1 ones are 1, 2 twos are 4, like that. Third one, 799. If you square it, if the last number is 9, what will be the end number? End number will be 1. 9 and 1, that is 1 only. 3853. 3 threes are 9. 9 nines are 81, last number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last number is 4. It means what? 6. Next number. 2, 6, 3, 8, 9. 3, 8, 7. If it is square. Last number is what? 7. It means what? And the number is 9 only. 5, 2, 6, 9, 8. What is the square of last number? 4. Next number. 99880. What will be the unit digit? It is again 0 only. 12796. If it is last number is 6, last digit will be 6 only. 5555. What will be the last digit will be? If it is last 5, the answer will be always 5 only. So this is how you need to remember. By looking at the number, you can easily assume. What will be the last digit of the square number. Last digit of the square number. Okay now? Okay, we'll move to the next question now. Question number 2 now. This is all about question number 1. Now question number 2. The following numbers are obviously not perfect squares. We have to give reason. So the first one is 1057. They are telling it is not a perfect square. Why? Can you tell me? Because the ending number is 7. Therefore 7, you are right. Ending number is 7. Therefore it cannot be a perfect square. Second number 23453. Ending number is 3. So it cannot be a perfect square. Third one 7928. Ending number 8. It cannot be perfect square. 22222. Ending number 2 cannot be perfect square. Fifth one 64,000. Now what is it? How many are there? The zeros. Zeros are in odd. Therefore you have to write number of zeros are odd. Odd number of zeros cannot be a perfect square. Sixth one 89722. Ending number what it is? 2 cannot be perfect square. Seventh one 222 ending number, the same thing you tried. Number of zeros are odd. Okay. Next number 8th one 505050. Ending numbers are same thing, odd. Same thing you tried. Number of zeros are odd. So number of zeros are odd here. End number is 1 only. So this is how you have to write it. Okay, the next question I will do now. Now question number 3 now. Okay, today we shall complete here. Let us try the rest of the questions in the next period. Okay now? Okay, for your so everybody has to remember minimum 25 squares. What is the square of 1? What is the square of 2? What is the square of 3? What is the 4? What is the square of 4? Whenever you come to school, I'll ask, what is the square of 15? What is the square of 20? You have to answer it. By heart all these questions, and I will ask whenever you come to school. Okay, thank you now. Goodbye.